Welcome to the beautiful HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas, where the RGV FC Toros run with the first place team in the Western Conference, the Rio Monarchs SLC. Hello everyone, Ari Shannock alongside Bruce Silverman. And Bruce, for RGV, they are playing for pride, having been eliminated from the playoff picture already, but the Toros have the opportunity to play the spoiler beginning tonight with the first place Monarchs.
But they can accomplish more than just being the spoiler. They can actually earn, talking about individuals, they can earn spots for next season. They can work their way up in terms of where they play and how they play a year from now. They're not only playing for pride, they're playing for their jobs.
Absolutely. They're looking to impress the Dynamo, too. And here is the starting lineup for head coach Gerson Echeverry.
And there are some guys here that can flat out play. And if they play as a team, I think that they are primed to get a good result this evening against Real.
And for the Monarchs, first place in the West, they have struggled on the road a bit. Surprisingly, Bruce, the Monarchs are looking for their first road win since June 16th. They're 0-4-1 during that 5-match road winless streak.
And when you talk about there's no place like home, there's no place like home, it is difficult when you are on the road. Tonight, on paper, you would think we're in RGV. We can get the win. We can get out of here. We can get back on track. We're top of the table. But you know what? The Toros come to play.
Yeah, and they're tough at home, the Toros, no question about it. A little bit of a different look here tonight for Real Monarchs.
And for me, the guy I really want to look at is Jack Blake. He is dynamic. He can do things as a playmaker. He can do things as a scorer. He is solid for Real. And for tonight, that's my guy to look at.
We are almost ready for action. The Monarchs lead the all-time series 1-0-1. They won the first match 2-0 back. That was way back on June 4th. Rio Grande Valley FC, Real Monarchs SLC, coming up. And welcome back to the beautiful Rio Grande Valley HEB Park, where the Toros are always tough, 3-3-8 at home. Although, Bruce, they have lost their last 2 here at home, while the Monarchs are actually on a 2-game losing streak, and that's shocking for this quality of a team.
Well, not only that, you're late in the season. You don't want to start going on losing streaks when you're sitting top of the table and you know the playoffs are just around the corner, because it's a one-and-done situation in the playoffs. And if you send a message to the rest of the conference, we can be beat, that gives teams great mental capacity to go and try to knock you off. And talking to Coach Echeverry about tonight's match, he thinks his team has the mentality to go out and knock off this Monarchs team. It is a 5-game season for the Toros, and they want to finish strong. We talked about it. Both of these teams want to earn jobs next year. And for Real, it's all about impressing Salt Lake. For the Toros, it's all about impressing Houston. And Coach Echeverry in his first season wants to go out and make an impression, and finishing strong is the way to do that.
Oh, you're right. Coach said they have played the top teams very competitively this year, and for the Monarchs, that was their first back-to-back defeat of the season, losing at Colorado Springs, and then at home, which was big news. That was a 2-1 loss to San Antonio. That was their first home loss of 2018 and second in the last 2 seasons. That was Monday night.
Yeah, they're hard to beat here in this stadium. They've got a lot of draws, a tremendous amount of draws, but at the end of the day, they play well here. They play well here because the fans are supportive. It is a really nice building to play in, beautiful surface.
There's the first cross of the game, and that's knocked out of there by the RGV defense. That was sent in by Saucedo, a 21-year-old who played for the U.S. under-18 and under-20 teams. Corner kick upcoming here. Quick start. This is Pablo Ruiz, the Argentinian, just 19 years old, Bruce. And the corner, out swinger, out and collected at the top of the 18. Shot in as well, high and wide by Saucedo.
So on that corner, the youngster drives it in, really makes it hard to make any kind of play. Salt Lake able to gather it up. What they weren't able to do is to go and really make any kind of play. That shot from distance was the issue. But early on, if you're the Monarchs, you like the fact that you marched down and you had a set piece, a corner within the first 2 minutes.
Long ball, and here is the run by RGV. Can he get there? But it's cleared out by goalkeeper Jake Leaker. Our keepers tonight, Leaker out of St. Louis, Missouri, 23-year-old University of Memphis grad. He's seen 52 shots, 39 saves, 6 clean sheets. Trained with U.S. men's national goalkeeper. Here we go, 2-on-1. Big a chance for the Toros, broken up. Can they get a shot off? There's the shot, but it's deflected. What an opportunity on the counter by RGV.
RGV just taking too much time to get the shot off. The help was there, and you see the way that this play develops. And you see this was at the very end. But the way that that play developed, the opportunities were there. And instead of waiting to take the shot, which ultimately didn't work, should have slid the pass off to the right. And then I think this game is broken open and it's 1-0 early.
Yeah, that was what Small was thinking. He was calling for the ball. Looked to be very alone on that right flank. An excellent chance. RGV, this is a frustrated offense, 25 goals. Second to last in the USL to Richmond, who had 24. They've gotten off 346 shots, Bruce.
That's been the thing about RGV. They've had their chances. It's the finishing. It's the quality of the finishing that has frustrated the coach. It's not the chances. But there was an opportunity where they're inside the box and they don't even really get the quality shot off. That is the prime example of what has been the Achilles heel for the Toros this year.
Foul committed by Wharton. You contrast him to the Monarchs. They have 358 shots, so only 10 shots or 12 shots separating them, but huge differential in goals. 47 goals for the Monarchs and 25 for RGV. Here's Blake. That's who Bruce wants to see.
Well, it's a guy with a tremendous amount of experience, played at such a high level for so long with a number of different teams throughout the second division, and now bringing that experience to the Monarchs.
Here come the Monarchs, building up with Saucedo. Homegrown Real Salt Lake talent. Acosta, his cross is deflected, and that will roll to Tyler Derrick.
Adams doing a good job of ushering it back to Derrick so that Derrick can go and punt this one away.
Tyler has seen 13 shots, 10 saves, 1 clean sheet. 29-year-old out of North Carolina, or University of North Carolina, on loan from the Dynamo. And that will get through. Another opportunity. They send it out wide. This is Enriquez. Enriquez to his right. His cross looking for Small is blocked away.
The pass went to the left, and Small was calling for it on the right, but the vision just wasn't there.
Headed wide right. Quintanilla got his head on it. A couple of good build-ups and attacks for the Toros.
Early on, Toros looking like the better squad. They just haven't been able to go at Leaker. But this has been, and we've already talked about it, the concern for Coach Echeverry has not been the opportunities, it's been the finishes.
Kyle Adams, player out of New Zealand, nearly gave it away deep in their zone. Collision there, and we do get the call, so a free kick upcoming for the Toros.
Toros doing a really nice job of moving the ball one touch and moving it quickly. They're not taking their time. The buildup has been good. That's never been their problem. You go and you watch this team. This is an exciting team. This is a team that moves quickly, has very good technical ability. It comes down to finishing. I know that is already a broken record. We're only 7 minutes into this match, but that is really the issue. If this team can finish, watch out. It could be a very long evening for the Monarchs.
Yeah, because you know they can defend.
RGV is going to build from the back. They like to do that, and they move quickly. The passing lanes so far are there. That triple team, that triangle, really created havoc and led to the turnover.
We're in the 8th minute. Saucedo, nice little behind the back flip. Jose Hernandez. And this is Ruiz. RGV very solid defensively. That's one of the things that Jerson has been happy with this year. Said he'd give that defense but a high B, low A, Bruce.
Yeah, he's been very happy with his defense, and rightly so. I mean, they've really been solid. Where the breakdown comes down is really, it's in the forward. It's with capitalizing on the opportunities. They've had their opportunities already this evening. They haven't been able to capitalize. There's another good job where the defense breaks down the opportunity of the opposition, and this is the reason why Derrick's going to kick it away again.
And we should mention Kai Green unavailable tonight. He's out on yellow card accumulation, also shaken up a bit in the previous game at Phoenix. Manuel Padilla is in there, drafted by the Dynamo, 89th overall this year out of the University of San Francisco. He's got some skills. And come by Enriquez. Here's Small with a look. His strike is blocked. Another good build-up by RGV. Let's look at this again.
Nice steal right there, and the numbers are favoring RGV, and Small just takes that shot, but he's got a defender right in front of him.
Perea, who's been a bright spot all year round. A little give and go there as Quintanilla was hoping to get it back.
We're 10 minutes in. RGV is the sharper of the two teams.
You wouldn't know who was in first place watching this first 10 minutes. Our coaches tonight, Jerson Echeverry, who coached U.S. Soccer Federation under-17 youth national team under current Dynamo head coach Wilmar Cabrera from 2008 to 2011. First season for Coach Echeverry. Spent the last 5 seasons at Seton Hall. And for Real Monarchs, the interim head coach is Hamasan Olave. Olave played for Real Salt Lake, 2010 and 2011 MLS All-Star. He was the MLS Defender of the Year in 2010, Bruce. The defensive coach under Coach Petke last season.
So he's got a few things that he can teach the youngsters.
I would say so.
It's one of those rare mistakes by Adams, and he's able to get away with it.
He doesn't make many. He is solid back there. 75 clearances this year, 12 blocks. New Zealand youth international under 20 and under 17 teams. For Kyle, played at San Diego State. Good steal there for RGV.
And room to run.
Yep, plenty of space for Aldo. Pushes it to the right. Aguilar's undercut. A little sliding tackle there made by Plua. They let it go, Bruce.
And what happens on this one is Aguilar, he came running around. He was trying to sweep into the ball. You got to go straight to the ball. You got to play the ball, because when you try to sweep around, you invite the defender to come up, and that's exactly what happened in that situation.
Race for the ball. Derek able to get there first under duress. Tyler, an interesting story on loan for the Dynamo. He was suspended on November 1st after an alleged domestic incident. And during that last month, it only allowed 1 goal in the final month of play for the Dynamo last season. But he's come back strong. He's such a hard worker. Good influence on this young team, says Coach Echeverry. And what a leader he is.
Well, so far, if you're Coach Echeverry, you are liking what you're seeing out of your squad. But in games that we've seen RGV play in the past, they've played like this. Yeah. This has been a prototypical RGV match so far. This is the way that you've seen them play for a better part of the season. They just don't get the results. They get a lot of draws. They play well at home. They just haven't been able to get a lot of wins.
Yep. 8 draws at home, 12 overall. Monarchs with just 2 draws on the season. Edge of the box here. That cross won't make it through. Adams ricochets dangerously off his own player, and Derek made sure he had to cover it up.
So Coach Echeverry told us that they would give his defense an A or a B. They get an F on this exchange right here.
I mean, Sheldon Sullivan had his back turned and ricocheted. You can see the concern on Jerson's face. The second corner kick of the young game for the Monarchs. In swinger, far post, headed and batted away. Nicely done by Tyler Derrick.
Got a big hand on it. Also had the advantage of being right there against the post. Looked almost more like a block in basketball than it did a save in soccer, but effective nonetheless.
Yeah, Plua got his head on. Another one. Ricochets out, but settled by the Monarchs. Saucedo can't make it through 2 orange jerseys.
Solid defense and a lot of running room. Great build up here.
Small. Back to Quintanilla. Didn't have the angle on it. And now the Monarchs able to catch up.
Great defense leads to offensive opportunities, and that's exactly what happened there. Just wasn't quite as sharp as RGV would have wanted to, but they're still on the ball.
Tough angle there to convert that pass to Enriquez from Quintanilla. Chewy's he's hot. He's got 5 goals, 2 assists. The previous road trip, Enriquez, who's from Newark, California, said he had at least 85 people at the game in Sacramento to support him. That's a large family, and what a thrill it was for him to play professional soccer in front of so many family members.
That's a couple of buses worth to go up the highway to get to Sacramento.
Monarchs. There's the cross. No white jerseys there. Collected by the Toros.
Good build-up by the Monarchs. They just weren't able to capitalize, but
Here
look at this room.
Small and Quintanilla. Small to his right. Strikes and misses wide right.
Small with another opportunity, but he had a running mate with him, and he was trying to get the pass there. You could see it. He probably would have been well served if he had been able to flick it over to Chewy, and then they could have either taken the shot from the right or passed it back underneath to Carlos. But those are opportunities that continue to present themselves to RGV. At some point, RGV is going to become very, very frustrated not taking advantage. And at some point, the Monarchs are going to need to solve why they're giving so many breakaway opportunities to the Toros.
Yeah, they have been efficient down the counter, the Toros have been. Carlos Small, couple of goals this season since joining RGV. Played on the under-20, under-22 Panama national teams. Coach Olive looked a little concerned on the sideline. He's a defensive specialist, defender of the year in the MLS back in 2010. He can't appreciate what he's seeing at the moment. Saucedo has been in the middle of the action.
But if you look at the defenders right now, the spacing is good. They're moving well together as a unit. It's one of the reasons why Real can only do shots like that. I mean, that's just a frustration shot right there. There is the buildup. You've got possession, but you become impatient and you just try to tee it up. And that's not going to do you any good whatsoever. That's one of those situations where it doesn't show up on the score sheet in any way, other than the fact that the Toros are frustrating Real right now.
Yeah. Solid back line. That headed forward. Enriquez pressuring. But Leaker will clear. RGV 10 clean sheets, tied for 4th in the USL this season. Excellent defensively, solid goalkeeping. 11 clean sheets, 3rd in the USL for the Monarchs.
You know, you look at RGV and you look at their record and you think, all right, this is a team that's struggling. This is a team that isn't very good, which is not the case. This is one of those teams where you look at it and say, it's a very deceptive record.
Right.
Because you just mentioned 4th in clean sheets. How can you be towards the bottom of the table and 4th in clean
25
sheets?
25 goals.
And there's the answer. And there's the answer. But the opportunities are there. And this is a team that is very young with a coach who is very dedicated to being a teacher, to being a cheerleader, and to really develop his players. And this is a team that this time in 2019, Ari, I am telling you, this will be a team that will be in the playoff picture. This will be a team that will be really vying for a USL title.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bruce. They keep this core in place. There's Padilla. Padilla to Quintanilla. His cross, Small is there, but it's blocked away. Beautiful recovery there by the Monarchs on the trail because Small had him beat for a moment.
Quintanilla, great pass inside, and if it isn't for the fact that it gets knocked away by James Moberg,
yeah.
This is a 1-0 game. Moberg has been very, very active. You take a look at right in the front of the screen right there. Small has had those opportunities, but I keep going back to it, Ari. I am shocked by the passing lanes that RGV has been able to exploit so far tonight.
Todd Wharton, and the first set piece for RGV off the head, high in the air. Second touch played off of the bounce and cleared up and out of bounds. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50.
Wharton's going to want that set piece back, as that ball was just driven in and really didn't give any opportunity to make a play on it. But 20 minutes in, Coach Echeverry would be very, very pleased with the opportunities that his team has been able to create. It's just the story of the season. It's the finishes that this team has struggled with. But once they figure out how to break it open, the floodgates will follow.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Chandler Hoffman yet. Waiting for him to get involved. 11 goals, 4 assists. 84% passing accuracy. And just as we say his name, there he is trying to get behind the defense.
That's the way it works. And there's the captain right there. But what has been the frustration for Hoffman so far in this game is no service whatsoever.
Yeah.
The buildup really hasn't been there. The defense of RGV doing a great job of making sure that Hoffman is a bystander in this match.
Well, Jerson said he is an impeccable timing type player. Smart runs, and we saw one there where he almost snuck behind 2 defenders. Hoffman, 17 goals, 7 assists last season. First team all USL. Played at UCLA. He was also the valedictorian of his high school. Some guys have it all, don't they?
He's got the IQ to go along with the football IQ.
It'll be Monarchs throwing. You see Pareo battling. A Colombian who attended Syracuse. Having a solid season.
Not a bad soccer program there with the orange.
And now in the orange jerseys of RGV. Gotta feel comfortable. Padilla. Kept in by the Monarchs. Nice work, Acosta.
Acosta has had a very busy evening on that left side.
Trying to find a seam here. Monarchs takes a long bullet shot. Derek had a good eye on that one and watched it sail well wide.
So the shots that the Monarchs are taking are all long distance shots. And when you get into a match, you're 24 minutes in, you have not taken anything in close. That shows frustration, that you feel like the only opportunities you have are from long distance. And that is a credit to the Toros defense. They are moving so well as a unit that they're taking up that 18 and they're forcing the Monarchs to push farther and farther into the middle of the pitch. They're really taking away that final third.
Wharton pressuring. Good energy by the Toros. They certainly look like a team that is focused, don't they, Bruce?
They really do. I mean, if you're watching this match, if you're just tuning in around the USL, and you're wondering which is the first place team, which is the team that's outside of the playoffs, if I didn't tell you and you were just watching this match, you would not know which role belongs to which team.
Great effort thus far. We're in the 25th minute. Get a replay of this whistle here.
Yeah, that's going to be, pretty easy. Aguilar.
Yep. Aguilar, 59th overall selection by the Dynamo this season. Played in three preseason games with Houston.
Here's one of those long-distance opportunities. It'll be interesting. I would be shocked if they play it into the wall. This one is going right at the keeper.
Saucedo, the strike and the save. Diving to his left, Tyler Derrick receives a round of applause from the crowd. Look at this one again.
Rocket shot. Outstretched arms of Derrick. Goes right up and over. Nice dipping shot. That's the type of shot. The reason I knew that that was going to go directly at the keeper is the distance was perfect.
Another corner headed in for a goal. Perfectly timed by the Monarchs. Scored by Plua.
Plua just running on this ball. This is right on the spot. This is how you score despite not being the sharpest team on the evening. You take advantage of corners, and this was something drawn up perfectly, executed perfectly. 1-0 in the 26th minute because of this service coming up right here, and Plua just blasting his way through, gets right past Adams and just heads it right into the back of the net.
Well, everybody was marking Hoffman, and for good reason, with 11 goals, and Plua flew in, perfectly timed to score his second. Conrad had the lone goal in the match Monday night in the loss to San Antonio, and now scores his second, so 2 in a week for Plua, the veteran from New Jersey.
Those big, tall guys from Jersey.
Wrestling match. Conrad, all-time minutes leader for the Red Bulls 2.
And this is the difficulty, as you see the injury right there. The difficulty for RGV is they have played the better game. They have had the opportunities. They have really put pressure. But what they haven't done is challenge Leaker.
Yeah.
And that, I may sound like a broken record at this point, but that is the story of 2018 for the Toros.
It really is. And at some point, they get a little discouraged. They can't find the back of the net.
Well, we talked about it a few minutes ago. At some point, the frustration is going to set in that they cannot finish their opportunities. The opportunities for Real have not been there, but yet we just saw they finish the opportunities they have. And that was as quality a corner as you can have. The service was perfect. The header was perfect. And it's the reason why it's a 1-0 game in the 28th minute.
And one of the examples of why they came in with 47 goals.
You don't have to possess the ball very often if you take advantage of the quality possessions that you have. Possessions is one of those stats that I don't put a lot of stock into, because you could possess the ball for 20 minutes and still win a game. And the way that the Monarchs scored is exactly how you prove that theory. Injured player down for Real.
Yeah, I didn't get a number, but they're not holding up play. Small again breaking free. There's a big collision coming off his line. To seize it aggressively was Jake Leaker.
And another opportunity for the Toros that they don't take advantage of. And in that particular case, Small up the wing and Leaker coming out. That pass had to be there from Small, and Small needed to flick it over Leaker. He doesn't, And that's why play is now stopped, and we see the injured player being attended to, and it is number 23.
Yeah, Saucedo got caught up around that right eye.
And this is the second time we've seen him down.
Hydration break, Coach Olave.
Well, they'll work it in at the same time that Saucedo is being attended to.
The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter.
You know, we talk about this hydration break in the 30th minute. We're talking to Coach Echeverry during the week, and he wanted to be able to take advantage of the weather. And you know, end of the summer, beginning of fall in southern Texas.
Southernmost tip of South Texas.
So you're saying it was hot?
It's got to be hot.
Another opportunity to look at that corner and that goal by Conrad Plua. You can't draw it up any better than that.
There's Plua. Great story. Plua suffered a stroke back in 2016. Full recovery, obviously. It's a great story. Veteran of the USL, all-time minutes leader with the Red Bulls too. Workhorse. 6'3", 183-pounder.
And that story is not unique to USL, as Drew Becky had a heart attack in May. Back on the pitch now and contributing.
Plua's goal in the 26th minute. The difference in this one. Small. Got a ton of skills. A lot of promise, Coach Echeverry. High expectations.
Well, and the pressure that Small put on Leaker is the reason why Leaker let that one leak. Earlier in the evening, a game in Charlotte. Charlotte gets a goal as the pressure is put on Trevor Spangenberg. Spangenberg was trying to dribble himself out of trouble, gave up the pass, or gave up the ball to Jake Armand, and Armand picked it, worked to the left, put the left foot into the back of the net. Charlotte gets a 2-1 win tonight, picks up 3 points to improve their opportunity in the playoff picture.
Padilla able to grab that one. Well, we should mention also the Monarchs are without a couple of their stars. Stanley Okumo has been called to the Kenyan national team. Jamal Charles is set to join the Grenadian national team for international matches during the FIFA international window.
Number of teams throughout USL missing players this weekend because of the international window. EPL actually taking the weekend off because of that.
Good challenge there. Saucedo. Headed down by Padilla. And they switch it far side. Hernandez. Ooh, beautiful sliding tackle for the steal. I believe that was Sheldon Sullivan. There's Aguilar. Chuy Enriquez now the leading goal scorer for the team with 5. Quintanilla has 4. Aguilar with a couple. But offense doesn't come easy for the Toros this season.
Scoring doesn't come easy.
Yeah.
The offense actually
right.
does. And that's If you sit back and you look at this RGV team, it's an enigma wrapped in a riddle. Because nothing about RGV on paper makes a lot of sense. You look at their wins, and that doesn't make any sense against their clean sheets. You look at the way that they build up, which has been fantastic tonight. You look at the way that they create opportunities. It's been great all season long. It's just the finishing, and that's confidence.
Right. They need to see the back of the net.
You know, scoring's contagious.
Crowd hooting it up. Good crowd always here at HEB Park. There's a shot. Well, high and wide.
But shots from 40, 45 yards out, that shows respect. If you take shots, and that's the third shot from distance tonight, Ari, and we're only 35 minutes into this match.
Yeah, Saucedo has a couple of them. He's just 21 years old. They'll roll all the way to Jake Leaker.
What I'd like to see, because the counters have been there for RGV, what I want to see RGV do is move the passes faster. I think what's happening in the final third for RGV, it's those split-second decisions. It's that muscle memory that comes from just moving that pass before you even have an opportunity to talk yourself out of the pass. And we've seen that a couple of times with Carlos Small tonight, where he's not pulling the trigger on the pass fast enough. Early in the match, first couple of minutes of the match, he wanted the pass coming to the right to him. The pass went to the left. It's the decision-making in the final third that RGV is going to have to work on. Once they do that, this is a team that has all the other components. From goalkeeping all the way to the front, RGV has it. It's the decision-making in the final third that once that clicks, man, watch out for the Toros.
Yep, I agree. Monarchs trying to avoid a three-match losing streak. Good quick feet by Jose Hernandez. Lua with the lone goal. In the 26th minute. Off a corner kick. Monarchs 82% passing accuracy, second in the USL. Now, this team can move the ball and pass it efficiently. They're only second to Swope Park, who is at 83%.
One thing that I'm noticing right now, Jack Blake needs to get involved in the offense, and just on cue.
There it is, beautiful passing. Cross, there he is, Blake caught from behind, that slowed him up. There's a strike, hits the post. What a shot that was from Chang.
They haven't had many opportunities, but the ones that they have looked very, very good, and that was solid passing on that buildup.
Let's see this strike by Michael Chang.
Chang doing a great job just to get that shot off. Unlucky, hitting the woodwork.
Chang, 4 goals, 7 assists, 52 key passes. The 27-year-old from Havana, Cuba. Nice steal from Acosta. And Saucedo will take it across. Broken up nicely by Wharton. Todd's had a solid season. 120 duels won, 3 goals, 55 key passes. They'll set up another corner kick.
The last time we saw this corner attempted by the Monarchs, they broke the game wide open. That was in the 26th minute mark.
Saucedo.
What will be
contract, excuse me, Bruce, with Real Salt Lake.
What will be interesting on this one is how they mark, and you see the job they're trying to do on Plua to make sure that he doesn't make it 2 for 2.
Towards the near post, Derek will just bat that away. Collision in front of him. And we will see that one again before we do the corner again.
Yeah, that one driven, and Derek making sure that it doesn't get anywhere near the netting. But another opportunity for Real, and look for that battle right there around the spot to see if anyone in a white kit can break free.
Towards the back post, but no white jerseys were there. They thought it was going to the same place as the initial corner.
And there's just a breakdown of communication on that. Excellent slide tackle to stop the counter.
Quick inbounds to Wharton. Sheldon Sullivan out of the University of Virginia. Small goes left. Quintanilla was calling for it on the right. There's a spinning takedown to Chuy Enriquez, slamming the ground. He thought he was fouled.
Well, he was coming in with a full head of steam. He was going to hit the turf one way or another, whether it was fouled or just from the overrun.
Salcedo being challenged by Padilla. Good ball movement. Spreading the Toros out. Blake to his left. His strike is blocked by Donovan. Coach Echeverria will make the play there on the sideline.
He can still play.
Oh, yeah. Seton Hall of Fame. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. Williams defending, backtracking.
Just look at the way that the defense is set up, even though that steal doesn't happen. They're just so well organized on defense that they force Real to have to work all the way back. They're in the final third. They work all the way back. That's a sign of a very well organized team.
Since their goal in the 26th minute, I felt like there was a huge momentum shift, not just because of the score, but at that point it seemed like the Monarchs kind of settled in. They've possessed the ball a far greater amount of time since that point.
Well, you're right about that. And also, teams tend to settle down when they pick up a goal because it's a relief factor, especially when you start off and you're being outplayed. You get a goal when you're being outplayed. That really lifts you up, and it really
deflates the other guy.
Absolutely, absolutely does.
Good run here. Enriquez chips it in, looking for Small, headed right back to him. Near side, Quintanilla. But a steal. Good build-up, couldn't get a shot off. On the counter.
Quick
Hoffman,
feet.
watch out. His strike save by Derek.
And that was a very efficient counter. One touch, one touch, one touch, get the shot off. And it all starts from a really solid defensive play on the back line.
Yeah, you figure any shot from Chandler Hoffman is a good shot, too. Out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Great youth program in Birmingham.
played collegially all the way at UCLA.
Nah, that's not a bad program either. Lousy weather, but I mean, great program.
Sure. Good steal. Manuel Padilla's had an impressive game, filling in for Kai Green. This call will go against him here in the final minute of regulation of the first half. Acosta is down injured. Padilla arguing his case, Bruce. You agree?
I'm shaking my head. He played the ball.
Yellow to Manuel Padilla. 89th overall selection this season by the Dynamo. And Acosta getting up slowly.
You know, I realize that in bang-bang situations, it's hard for the referee to really break down a play. He doesn't have the advantage that we do to watch replays. And oftentimes you see a player go down and you see a player hurt. It also shades the call a little bit.
So into stoppage time. Two minutes of stoppage, so a little over a minute remain in the first half. Here at the beautiful HEB Park. Rio Grande Valley, one of the fastest growing regions in the U.S.
Fans are certainly treated to some exciting soccer here in a absolutely beautiful building.
Yeah, I love this place. About 40 seconds remain. Good steal by Sullivan. Perea, facilitator. See if they want one drive left here before half for the Toros.
Monarchs are certainly pestering them. Without a sense of urgency, the whistle will be blown and they'll go to the locker room with the Monarchs up 1-0.
Aguilar. See how long they give him. That could be it. And there is the whistle to end the first half. So a Plua header off a corner kick in the 26 minutes is the difference here after one half of play. Real Monarchs 1 and RGV FC Toros nothing after one half of play. Competitive half. RGV controlling the tempo for about half of the first stanza. Plua has the Monarchs on the scoreboard with the header. 1-0 at the break. And always festive here at HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. Cheerleaders out at the break. Rio Grande Valley trails the Monarchs 1-0. Cheerleaders of all ages, and we'll take a look at the highlights from the first half. Plenty of corner kick opportunities, Bruce.
And they all have belonged to the men in white. And this is interesting. This is foreshadowing.
Yes.
Plua. But the opportunities have been there for RGV as you see that shot go wide. It's just a matter of putting it on frame. Gotta challenge Leaker. Leaker has not been challenged. That should have been a pass rather than a shot.
Now, Small was hoping for his third goal of the season.
The opportunities have been there for the Toros. Solid defense there, breaking up that opportunity.
And that was Moberg. Off the Quintanilla pass. Terrific play.
Small's a little frustrated at this point. But you know what? So has the Monarchs been frustrated, because you see up these long distance shots. As this was a rocket shot.
Great save.
Big time save by Derek. But the frustration has been there, and the respect for RGV has been there because of how many long distance shots we have seen. Here's the dagger right here.
Perfectly executed.
I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Plua just running on and blowing right through, putting it in the back of the net. That came in the 26th minute. Possession.
Yeah, they were dominant after about the 25th minute mark.
Yeah, after that goal, things definitely changed. And you see 6 shots. But here's the difference. 6 shots, 0 on target. 10 shots, 4 on target.
Yeah, so you can see the crowd always having a good time here at HEB Park. That is our score at the half. Real Monarchs trying to snap a 2-game losing streak, longest of the season. We'll be back at Rio Grande Valley.
See it here as maybe another potential chance for the Rangers. Long range shot, incredible save. Ball knocked over the top. What a touch! Guzman! What a delivery. Header, tipped over the bar. What a save. It's Kuzane. Oh! Sensational! Handball. Jay Bolt saved by Ranjitsingh. Lance Lang! And it's saved by Crépeau. Are you kidding me? Antoine Opado! Tina kick save by Spencer Richards. Tina, a left-footed shot. Oh, wonder goal from Jesse Daly.
Headed towards Vega. Did he hold it out? Somehow Daniel Vega holds it out.
Dennis can hit from this range. Aaron Dennis. Cross header towards the goal. It's Dejas punches it over the top to save the lead. Fernando Adi over to his left foot. Fernando Adi, his first goal in Cincinnati. Chambers, he's gonna hit it. And Pizer tips it over the bar.
The outswinger.
And volleyed in for a goal.
The defense, Lasser 1v1 versus Puadi, who makes a beautiful save.
Enriquez on his right. Skundrits, what a save from Pizer.
crowd having a great time here at HEB Park in Edinburgh. Teams out getting loose before the start of the second half. We'll look at the news and notes from around the USL.
Jimmy Nielsen, skipper in Hartford, has been very, very effective in this league already. And then walking in Memphis, walking 10 feet off of Beale, and check out that logo, Ari. Love it. Can't wait to get it. Can't wait to see what the kits are going to look like with that logo. And OCB has joined the USL 3, and you look at what's coming up in the USL.
Some of the big ones in the Western Conference with the Monarchs in St. Louis on ESPN3 on Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Here's the ESPN schedule. Talked about the Monarchs appearing there Wednesday.
And then you got Nashville and Tampa Bay, Atlanta at home hosting Nashville, and then the lights always entertaining as they will be hosting Phoenix in October.
Yeah, lights are bright in Vegas any time of year. Get your snacks. Step right up. We are at the half at HEB. Another beautiful evening here in Edinburgh. Talking about the expansion here in the USL for next season. Welcome these impressive cities.
Well, look at that. You got two teams in Texas and Birmingham, and we just talked about Jimmy Nielsen taking over in Hartford and Memphis, New Mexico, and Virginia. A lot of soccer being spread around the United States and the USL.
Yeah, quality cities joining this terrific league. Fans always entertained here at HEB Park. Something to do at all times. What a great value. Bring the family. 1-0 Monarchs at the half. The Monarchs looking for the season sweep. They won the first meeting 2-0 back in June. Here's Rio Grande Valley's last match, losing to Phoenix on Wednesday night.
Yeah, unfortunately for RGV, the dagger came in the 61st minute. Asante finds the back of the net right there. 1-0 loss. The captain made him pay. That's what happens when you don't clear out the garbage.
Good chance there, but couldn't capitalize. Upcoming schedule for RGV FC Toros.
And they can play spoiler. We talked to the coach during the week. They've got an opportunity to finish strong, and this is what they can do. They've got some teams in front of them that are in the playoff picture. They can play spoiler, and you know what? Sometimes that's a role that you relish.
And for the Monarchs, who are trying to hold on to that one slot in the West.
Yeah, they really, they're coming off of a tough loss themselves to a San Antonio club that is trying to make the playoffs. And for Real, it's really a matter. They're sitting atop the table right now. You know you're going to be in the playoffs. You know you're going to host, whether you hold on to that #1 spot or not. It really comes down to getting back to form and really knowing that you're going into the playoffs playing like the best team in the conference.
Here's their upcoming schedule. St. Louis at home and then on the road for 2.
And then you got Colorado Springs at home and OKC. There are wins available for Real, but there are also some traps as well. Oh, look at that. Referees getting together, saying, hey, let's finish this one strong. We've played a great game to this point.
They're getting pumped up at halftime as well.
You get a look at Leaker there. Players coming back onto the pitch. If you're Real, you want to play the last 45 minutes the way you did the last 20 minutes of the first half. If you're RGV, it's a very simple message. You're going into the locker room, you're down 1-0, you're playing well. You're playing very, very well. You just don't have a goal. And I know that's frustrating, and I know that has been the Achilles heel of this Toros squad all season long. But the opportunities have been there, and I've already used the term broken record. We've already talked about missed opportunities, but really that at the end of the day is the only difference between RGV being in the position they're in right now and being a playoff team. They just have to make faster, smarter decisions in the final third. If they do that, hey, the opportunities are going to come. If you're Coach Echeverri, you're happy with the way that your team has played, you're not thrilled.
Well, let's see if Echeverri can get them regrouped, because I thought that they were very sharp. They were the sharper team through the first 20.
Until they gave up that goal, Ari, they were the better team on the pitch. Hard to argue when you're down a goal that you're not the better team. And sometimes in the game of football, the better team does not win. That's just the nature of this game, and that's one of the reasons why it's the beautiful game.
Well, after the Monarchs did tally that goal, you could see maybe the doubt and frustration build up in RGV FC Toros because they had outplayed the Monarchs up to that point.
Had a long conversation with the coach back in August, and we talked about the confidence on this team. And confidence comes from scoring goals and getting results. Lack of confidence comes from not scoring goals and not getting results.
Toros 3-3-8 here at home, but they have dropped 2 straight here at HEB Park. And let's see if the Toros come out with that spark, that sharp edge that they started this game with.
Real has given them the passing lanes to exploit. They've done a good job of moving the ball down the pitch, moving it quickly, getting the passes through open spaces. It's just a matter of taking shots on Leaker. And to me, Ari, when we were looking at the stats during halftime, the one that was most glaring to me is 6 shots, none of them on target.
Right.
You are not going to win games if you cannot put the ball on frame. You need to challenge the keeper. you can make keepers look like George. You can make keepers look like George Best if you don't shoot.
Well, that goes back to that stat. 346 shots for RGV, 358 for the Monarchs on the season, but the Monarchs have 47 goals, RGV with just 25.
I was actually trying to make the reference of Gordon Banks and not George Best. Georgie would score the goals. Gordon would stop him.
Sullivan heading it out wide. Good battle there by Chewy. He's got dual citizenship, Mexico and U.S. Sullivan, a lot of promise. 66th overall selection this season by the Dynamo.
Both teams coming out of the locker room with a lot of oomph.
A little takedown by Sullivan, sending Chang to the deck. Look at this collision.
Look,
Offsides.
flag goes up on that penalty. Looked in slow motion not as bad as it looked in real time.
Yeah, agreed. Tyler Derrick, terrific leadership. Long ball. Collected there by Wharton. Beautiful passing. Aguilar. Wharton. His strike and a save for Leaker.
But if you're RGV, this is what you like to see. You're moving the ball down the pitch very, very efficiently, and that shot was on target. That's what you want to do. If you're the Toros, this is the way that you want to play. I promise you, Ari, if RGV can do that 4 or 5 more times in this game, they're going to win this game. The question is, can they do that 4 or 5 more times?
Wharton has 3 goals this season. Coming right back at him are the Monarchs, though. To his left, the shot. It's the side of the net.
And there's that defense. The spacing on defense by the Toros is the reason why this shot is off the mark. Just enough pressure put on that left-footed shot finds the left side of the net.
So Sato, he's generated a number of opportunities here for the Monarchs tonight. Good steal by Wharton. Chewy. Sullivan back to Enriquez. In the penalty area, Aguilar looking for a little room, turns and fires, but ready for it was Leaker. That didn't surprise Jake.
I'm a little surprised that there was so much on that shot. He was turning around on it. Didn't get a really good plant with that left foot, but he was able to really turn it around. Shows the strength of his leg.
Impressive by Pablos from Guatemala. 2 goals and an assist this season.
But already 2 shots on frame for the Toros.
The cross, Adams lets it go. Confident Padilla was there. Aguilar, he was part of that University of Virginia 2014 National Championship team.
Talking about some good college programs. Small is whistled on that infraction.
Monarchs player says he's okay. That is Acosta.
Acosta's been pretty active this evening from that left wing.
Some of these youngsters from the academy playing here tonight. A high ceiling for these guys. Acosta, Sauceda, Hernandez, Ruiz. They haven't had a lot of time in the USL this season. This is Henley. 5 starts this season for the Monarchs. And way off his line, Derek able to slide and knock that away, but it will result in a corner.
Yeah, he kind of bailed Padilla out as that effort to get it back to the keeper didn't go all that well, and you see it here. Padilla needs to put more on it, especially when you've got a charging player.
Saucedo.
Another corner opportunity. Real has had a number of them and obviously scored on one.
Sebastian again. Up right to Tyler Derrick as he read that one well. Long boot forward. Quintanilla tracks it. A pass intended for Pablo Aguilar, but didn't get anywhere near him.
Yeah, some of the passes in the last few minutes in the final third for RGV just a little off the mark.
Nice run here for the Monarchs. Chang, his cross. Adams gets a piece of it. Another set piece opportunity for Real.
And now you look at that.
So Carlos Small will be substituted for. As they will bring in Bryce Marion in a moment.
Adams needs to do a little bit better job of positioning himself, and instead of clearing the ball out of play and resulting in a corner, sending it towards the middle of the pitch to prevent these opportunities. Connor Donovan got the warning.
Saucedo assisted on the goal with a corner to Plua. This one to the near post. Broken up, but they're going to say it was last touched by the Toros.
So we'll do it again. For as brilliant as that service was on the 26-minute goal by Conrad Plua, a lot of his corners have been driven and not playable.
This time it'll be Ruiz. This time it'll be a goal kick off of Monarchs.
Thought we were going to get a substitution there, but long ball by Derrick sets up this opportunity for RGV.
Beautiful free kick. Wide open here. Chewy with the left foot sends it high. Enriquez underneath it just a tad.
And this was an absolutely fantastic build-up. What a heads-up play by Derrick. And you see the strength of this leg. Sends it down the pitch, pulls up the brakes. Blake is there to play some defense, slides it over. Enriquez, wow, if that ball stays a little bit lower, and it all happened because of that plant foot. If that ball stays lower, this is a 1-1 game.
Corner kick. Wharton right out front, but the height of Leaker, who is 6'5", able to capture. Todd Wharton doesn't like that call.
I was waiting for the substitution, and it finally is going to happen here as Small is going to come out.
And Marion will have the opportunity to check in. 22-year-old 5'7", 145-pounder from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Played at Stanford as an assist this season. There's Bryce coming in for Small.
And I like the substitution. Small has been effective, but has been unable to really turn and get the ball on frame. That will be the charge that Marion has in the minutes that he plays, is to make sure that he puts this ball on frame and create scoring opportunities.
go over to the Monarchs, who lead 1-0.
You know, I said going into this game, Ari, that Jack Blake was going to be a pivotal player for the Monarchs. He really hasn't factored in this game so far this evening, coming over from Tampa Bay earlier in the season.
Yeah, 1 goal and 2 assists for the Rowdies, 6 starts this season. Since arriving, 2 goals, 4 assists for the Monarchs. Quintanilla plays it over to Enriquez, back to Quintanilla. Quintanilla turns, shoots, and a save. Leaker diving to his left. I don't think Quintanilla got all of that, Bruce.
No, he didn't, but credit to the Toros. They came out of the dressing room, and they are going, and they're taking their shots, and they're taking their chances. This is the way that you play yourself back into the game. Great defense, good ball movement here. Just didn't, he swept over that ball. I think at some point the knobs on the bottom of the cleats probably touched the ball. If he gets clean through, that's a shot that Leaker is going to have a lot more trouble handling.
Quintanilla second on the team in goals with 4. Aguilar challenged. Wharton to the perimeter. Marion. Oh, beautiful move.
And that's tough. You keep the ball in play, you try to turn on it, and then you end up giving it up.
Connor Donovan. Nicholas Pereira. '59th minute of play. Derek. Well, he can get things started with that strong leg. Sending it 2/3 down the field.
With the strength of that leg, you wonder why the NFL isn't aware of him. Bring Tyler Derrick to the NFL, and suddenly the field goal record is not 64 yards, it's 74 yards.
Hoffman almost freed himself there. I wouldn't be surprised for Tyler Derrick to get a couple of assists. He almost had one earlier when he set up Quintanilla on his run. Beat the Monarchs down the field. Nice inside out move by Chewy. His pass rolls out of bounds.
60 minutes into this game, and RGV really does want to take it to Real. Real with the 1-0 lead and the goal by Plua, but RGV really have taken their game to another notch here in the second half. They haven't scored the goal, I understand that, but they are really putting together some really nice runs, and their ball movement on the attack has really been solid.
Yeah, very impressive. This is the way they started this game, although maybe even strategically and efficiently better this half. They've had some shots on goal. Monarchs building up.
The Monarchs are frustrated, Ari, because they get into the final third, and because of the defensive play by RGV, the way that they move together, the way that they keep their shape, look what happens. They go from the final third all the way back to their keeper, and you haven't seen that in reverse.
Voting runs throughout this weekend for the USL's monthly awards. Have your say in the votes for Player of the Month, Goal of the Month, and Save of the Month at uslsoccer.com. Real Monarchs 17-8-2, 53 points. Top of the table in the Western Conference.
You know, what's really interesting, Ari, is you talk about their record, but they also have been struggling lately.
Yeah, they've lost back-to-back matches for the first time this season. Lost a home match, which is big news for the Monarchs. First time this season, and only the second time in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
Kalen Ryden will check in for Monarchs SLC.
You mentioned it a little bit earlier, but there is no place like home, and when you are so efficient at home, you hate to find out when you look at the schedule that you're going to be on the road.
Well, good quickness here through multiple orange jerseys. Hernandez impressive. Stopped by Marion. Padilla tried to clear. Ricochets out of bounds.
And there's an example of Jack Blake getting more involved in the play.
There you see the substitute for the Monarchs, Kalen Ryden from Norman, Oklahoma. We'll check in for James Moberg. Moberg, solid game.
Defensive substitution, first one of the evening.
Should have mentioned Moberg was drafted by the Houston Astros. You don't see too many guys overlapping soccer, baseball. But Ryden comes in. He's out of Norman, Oklahoma. Veteran. 105 clearances this year. 81 duels won in the air.
Wharton gets called on that one. A little nonchalant leg there. But the collision sees our man Sacedo down again.
He's familiar with that turf. Quality player, though. Big upside for Sebastian. Just 21 years old. Member of the under 18 and under 20 U.S. national teams.
Not the first time this evening that he's been attended to, but
well, the heat could be coming into play too.
He took a knock, and he's taken knocks all night long.
More of a bruise than a cramp. Well, Toro's getting set to make another change. Luis Gill, 24-year-old, will be checking in momentarily.
Question of the day will be, will he come in before or after the set piece? 25 minutes remaining in the match.
The interim head coach, Olave, or the defensive coach under Coach Petke last season. An MLS All-Star playing for Real Salt Lake back in his day.
Gill will come in after the set piece.
Looks like Coach can still play. Set piece, the shot, and up to make the save is Derek. Off of the strike from Ruiz.
Good thing that Derek's got the height that he has. As this thing goes over the wall, starts dipping, if he doesn't get his hands on it, it's 2-0, and Ruiz will head over to the corner.
You know, Tyler's 6'3", Bruce, but he has some hops. He can get up there.
He looks a lot taller than that.
Well, that's why. Very athletic. Ruiz's corner. Could lead to a counter. Toros on the run. Marion trying to track it. Is nudged off of the ball by Henley.
Yeah, he would have had to have been riding the bull if he was going to get to that. That was just a little too heavy, and Gill will finally check in.
Gill will replace Aguilar. Well, Pablo's night is finished. Gill getting a little PT for Coach Echeverry.
Yeah, Aguilar, quiet night.
Leaker looking for his 7th clean sheet of the season. Derek conceded that one goal off of the corner. Nothing he could do about it. Plua headed it in.
Now that was just a brilliant play.
All the way down to Jake. Now St. Louis, Missouri. Ten shutouts he had with the University of Memphis. Leaker did.
How about that logo by Memphis? Memphis 901.
Now you're going to show up in that shirt next year. I know it.
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm getting one of those. Love that logo. Can you imagine when Memphis plays Las Vegas? I mean, the lights are going to be blinding.
I'd like to be at either venue. Corner kick headed down, and that hit the post. Up in the air, second touch. Short hops. Leaker.
How about that Donovan playing the header but playing the back of his head? This one hitting the post, the ricochet. Look at Connor. Oh. If that thing had gone in, forget it. Lights out.
Goal of the month, huh? You can
goal of the month
it.
might be goal of the year. Unfortunately for RGV, great opportunities, but they do not go, and that's just been the story of the year.
Yeah, Perea hit the post. Donovan with a unique, creative play, but right into the hands of Leaker.
Going into this game, look, Real, the class of the West, there's no doubt about it. And you look on paper and you think, RGV, they're just not a very good team, and I don't buy that assessment at all. This is a very good team. It's a team that's not winning games. It's a team that doesn't have as many points as maybe their play shows. But I'm telling you, this is a very solid squad.
Marion, hesitation move. That cross attempt blocked out will result in a corner kick, and Todd Wharton will come and tee it up.
If you live in the Rio Grande Valley, this is a team that you need to come out and support and watch. And if you're Houston, you're looking at the players that are playing for this team, and you love what you see.
And a score! Quintanilla took it off of the ground and banged it in.
And that is why you love what you see. 1-1.
Todd Wharton off of the corner, and this scoots through. And Quintanilla in the right spot to hammer it home.
Love it. Absolutely love it. This is a team that does not quit. They play whistle to whistle. And now in the 71st minute, it's 1-1. It's a brand new game. RGV plays very, very well at home. And with 20 minutes to go, this is going to be a really fun game to finish.
Quintanilla's 5th goal of the season to tie this one up. Get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com. Tied at 1. And the Monarchs, well, they were hoping to collect that first road victory since June 16th. They are 0-4-1 during the 5-match road winless streak.
And the way that RGV is playing, it might be extended to 6 games. Wharton, who just came through at the start of that set piece, that corner, with another set piece opportunity to go ahead.
Wharton collected his 3rd assist of the season. He has 3 goals. They're looking for number 4 right here. Serves it up beautifully. Chewy trying to run it out off the header, the second touch, but we had offsides call. Goal kick. Looks like another substitution getting set. Justin Portillo for the Monarchs.
He'll come in for Pablo Ruiz.
Ruiz, his night is finished. Portillo has a goal, 6 assists, 50 key passes. Justin, passing accuracy of 89%. All USL second team last season, playing with a battery. Well, that substitution here shows you how serious the Monarchs are by this one. Trying to come up with a victory. There's the cross headed by Donovan out of harm's way.
Yeah, Real with their hands full, their feet full here in Texas.
Portillo. Near side, Henley. Oh, nice move by Chang to his left. Wharton muscles him off of the ball.
Blake does a good job to keep it in the final third.
There's Blake. Portillo. Blake lifts it for Henley. His cross. Adams is there and headed away by Gill.
Best concerted effort that Real has had in the second half. But look how quickly, yeah.
Ball, Quintanilla.
No. That flag was up in a hurry, and every reason for it is Quintanilla was so far offside, he was nearly buying a hot dog.
Sounds pretty good.
Right about now, yeah, I could. I was going to ask you to get you one at
halftime.
halftime.
Bar wasn't enough, Bruce.
No, definitely not.
Chewy. A little inside-out dribble to the right. Gill, beautiful pass. Shot and underneath it as RGV was hoping for the lead.
Took too long to collect this shot and get it off, but great ball movement. Look at Gill. Perfect pass. Gotta do it faster. Gotta time that one faster. Aldo
had the equalizer, his 5th of the season. That would have given the Toros the lead. Monarchs with the score tied. Tried to get it to Chang. Intercepted by Sullivan. Here comes Chewy. Enriquez.
Been amazing how they, that is.
Yeah, grabbed down by Portillo.
Yes. And that's a booking.
Yellow card for Justin. Just came into this match moments ago.
Yeah.
Everybody in the park saw that one.
Even the guy selling me a hot dog saw that one in the 76th minute. But how quick RGV on the attack. just all night long, moving that ball so quickly. But Aldo, keep thinking, when I see Aldo's name, I'm thinking Aldo Nova. Remember Aldo Nova? Fantasy? Come on, Ari. I'm going to take you to the 80s with me, man.
Todd Wharton assisted on the first goal. It goes!
Wow!
Score. What a shot!
How about that? 77th minute, and the captain gets the goal to go along with the assist. RGV fighting, scratching, clawing, and looking to get the 3 points in this one.
What a shot by Wharton. Just picked up speed off of the turf and bounded right in the corner as Leaker's diving attempt to no avail. Wharton, his 4th goal of the season. He's already collected his 3rd assist tonight.
What an unbelievable effort from distance on the set piece. He picked his spot and he put it there.
RGV strikes for 2 goals here in the second half.
7 minutes apart. Aldo gets the first one at the 70-minute mark. And then the captain, who set up that goal, comes back on the set piece from distance and puts it in the far post. Bent perfectly.
Well, the Toros came out of the locker room for the second half. They were sharp. Started putting shots on goal. You said it, Bruce. You said they keep attacking like that when the way they started the second half, and they were going to put a couple goals up.
I think the exact quote was if they put 4 or 5 on frame, they were going to win this game. The run of play, you know, really start to look at this game right now. I'll get to this thought in a second to let this play go.
Sullivan puts it high in the air. And that will be called on Hernandez.
You look at this game, the run of play has been much better by RGV than Real all night long. This game got broken open in the 26th minute on a corner kick, not in the run of play.
True.
The Monarchs have given too much space to RGV in which to counter. They have moved the ball at will. Derek, pinpoint, right at the feet, flag up. But what an offensive advantage you have having a keeper like Tyler Derrick who can put the ball on a dime and move it up. Another substitution coming in.
Incredible. The way he can do that 2/3 of the way downfield. So into the game,
Juan Mare.
Juan Mare comes in, the Argentinian. Has 2 goals this season. Number 54.
And that does it for substitutions for the Monarchs. But the run of play for RGV tonight, the way that they have countered like this.
They're just in time for the Monarchs to interrupt that run. Was Ryden.
Talked about it earlier, Ari. The quality of shots by Real, most of their shots have come from distance. They have not come from up close. There is a tremendous amount of respect from this Monarchs club to RGV. They have shown it in every facet of the game.
Wharton, his corner. Ooh, deflected. Quintanilla tried to volley that in. And cleared out by the Monarchs.
Yeah, Connor Donovan was trying to find a way to get any part of his body on the ball, and he knew he had a missed opportunity there.
Good work by Sullivan. Quintanilla wasn't going to get there, but great lead by Sheldon Sullivan. Quintanilla had the first goal to tie this up Wharton gave RGV the lead.
Wharton involved in both of the goals this evening.
Beautiful headed pass. Hoffman caught from behind by Wharton. Chang delivers wide right.
Said it was last touched by RGV, so another corner opportunity. This was one of the better buildups of the evening. Both times RGV wanted the flag to go up. Both times it stayed down. But the buildup was very, very good.
Headed up. Adams was in the way. Goal kick for Derek.
Not a lot of time left in this match as Derek will kick this one away and just show how strong his leg is.
How well do you know the USL? Test your knowledge in USLsoccer.com's weekly picks competition every week, and you can win tickets to an upcoming USL game of your choice.
Tyler Derrick's leg is just monstrous.
It really is. And you pointed out how accurate it was. Oh, sent down in the penalty area. No whistle, though. To the dismay of the crowd, Wharton, he's feeling it. What a pass, Marion. Just a little bit out front.
Just about a half a step too far up front. We get to take a look at that foul once again. We'll get to that clip in a moment.
Monarchs looking for the tie. Running free there for a moment was Mare.
Coach Echeverry talked about how he was going to turn this into a 5-game schedule. See how strong they could finish with 5 games remaining, and so far so good on that theory.
I'm going to look at that foul or no foul called here. Not much there, Bruce.
No, I think, you know, there was definitely contact, but I think the Toro sold it a little bit more.
Another substitute for the Toros will be Robert Castellanos.
But we'll have to wait on that.
In a moment, first Wharton, an assist and a goal tonight. Far post, can he settle it? Ricocheted out of there. Castellanos will come in, 6'2", 175-pounder out of Palmdale, California.
And Aldo will call it an evening.
So Quintanilla, who scored the tying goal in the 71st minute, will trot off of the field. That was his 5th of the season.
And that is the 3rd and final substitution for the Toros this evening. So fresh legs up front for RGV as Carlos Small checked out at the 56-minute mark for Marion, and now Castellanos in the 85th. And RGV still looking to attack. Look at that from Marion.
What a play by Marion. And the beautiful pass, Gill, that ricocheted up over the crossbar. Terrific playmaking by Marion.
And how about this Toros club? No rest for the weary. They are continuing to attack. Gill, if he gathers that one up faster, this game is broken wide open. Corner coming up. But how about this RGV club? They're down a goal. They fight to get up 2-1.
Wharton keeps it on the ground. Was kicked out of there by Portillo.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
I like the idea. The execution wasn't there, but I like the idea. Everyone's looking for the ball to be up in the air.
Chewy to his right. shoots, and the save. What a diving save from Leaker.
Leaker didn't see anything come his way in the first half, and wow, he's been called into duty on the second. Huge save.
A great anticipation by Jake. Wharton again, let's see what he does.
Given all kinds of different looks on corners already this evening.
Marion, edge of the box, he shoots. Ricocheted off of the head of Donovan. And that was so interesting that Bruce got knocked backwards, almost out of your chair.
Wow. How fun is this game, folks? Marion with the shot, the rebound
Donovan.
right at Donovan's head. You know, we talked earlier about what could have been a goal of the year, but it didn't go in. There was another one where it was another. We've had two opportunities in this game where it would have been a goal of the year, but it didn't go in. And that one, I have been pleading for a couple of years now that rebound should be a statistic in soccer, and there's an example why.
That rebounded right off of the head of Donovan. Just pushing it up high. That Sheldon Sullivan was an ugly collision there. Both players slid at the same time, Henley and Sullivan.
Get an opportunity to take another look at it. Race to the ball. And both of the players.
Oh, good to see them both up.
Yeah, absolutely. No intent to harm from either player.
Nope, just bad timing.
And by the time they collided with each other, the ball was out of play.
Henley moving well. Chang, his cross.
And that was really pretty just missed time by Mare. But a nice ball inside.
You got to think Chandler Hoffman here if you're a Monarchs fan.
And he's been rendered nearly a bystander in this game.
Mare
Handball
bad,
in the
looks like
box.
like it landed on his hand. Padilla took a hit there. A beautiful service in there by Chang.
And then he pushed him down for good measure.
It'll add 3 minutes of stoppage. We're in the 90th minute. RGV has been ignited here in the second half. They look like they could play all night the way they're moving.
If you're Coach Echeverry, you're thrilled with the performance of your team from start to finish. They have to finish this one. But 90 minutes in, he has gotten an amazing 90 minutes out of his team. And if you're the Monarchs, you're scratching your head and saying, this is a team that we should run right out of their own building. And that has not been the case.
Marion certainly had been a spark since being inserted. There's the 3 minutes of stoppage time.
And this has been a really fun match. RGV on the counter all night long has just been a pleasure to watch.
Put it up and let Marion run under it. To his left. Tried to get around Ryden. Monarchs with about 2.5 minutes to work with here if they want to tie this. Henley. Chang serves it up. Adams kicks it up high, and Derek secures it.
If there's one thing on defense that I think RGV needs to work on, is Adams hasn't had the best of games. He needs to clear that ball out a little bit more efficiently. But here is the offensive attack being led by Tyler Derrick.
Yeah.
I keep going back to it. But what an offensive weapon if your goalkeeper can start you up and kick the ball 2/3 of the way down the pitch.
Yeah, and put it on a dime, like you said.
You know, I said earlier that maybe if Tyler Derrick was to try his hand at American football being a field goal kicker, he could kick it 74 yards. I'm thinking now maybe 84 yards. You know, break the record by 20 yards. What's 10?
Kickoffs, he put it in the stands. Wharton, terrific effort all night. That deflects, but it'll be a free kick for RGV as they just have about a minute to wind down and secure this victory.
And how about this, Ari? Coming into this game on the road, the Monarchs 0-4-1, and they are within 45 seconds of going 0-5-1 in their last 6 on the road.
Yeah, how concerned are they going to be here with this little mini losing streak? Now 3 in a row overall too.
Yeah, it's an alarming time because this is not when you want to be playing your less than best.
Looking for the equalizer. That is up high off of the foot of Henley. A nice attack there in the waning seconds of this one.
And RGV will take their time to get this one going. Henley just nothing with that plant foot.
Yeah, they're breathing hard. 93 minutes of play in this heat.
Look at that. RGV with the win. Wow.
4th victory of the season here at HEB Park. 5th victory overall on the season. They have 12 draws.
Talked about it throughout the evening. If I didn't tell you which team was sitting towards the bottom of the table and which team was sitting in the #1 position, you would not have known from this game. RGV played the better game from start to finish. And credit to them coming out of the locker room, not giving up and getting the win.
Yeah, they trailed 1-0 at the half, clearly frustrated, particularly that last 15 minutes of the first half. But that did not let this team down. Rio Grande Valley responded, came out big time in the second half, and dominated this second half of play. Let's look at the highlights of this one. First half action.
First goal of the evening. Beautiful corner kick. And Playa is a player. 1-0.
Second goal of the week for Plua.
Then we get into the second half, and I told you, Ari, if they start putting the ball on frame, they were going to win.
Saved by Derrick. He came up big all night.
He was huge defensively and offensively this evening.
Almost a miraculous shot by Donovan.
Donovan was looking for the goal of the year, and this would just the whole buildup of this. And if he had put the back header in, that would have been a play. But they do get it there.
Wharton's corner kick. Quintanilla ties it at 1.
And that's in the 70th minute. Ball pinballing around, finding the back of the net, and you start to wonder, can RGV finish? And this is how they finish it. Wow! The captain.
What a shot.
Picked his spot and just buckled the knees of Leaker.
Yeah, Wharton. What a game. An assist and a goal. Here's our match stats.
And look at this. First half, no shots on target. They take 6 shots.
Yeah.
19 on the game, 13 in the half. 8 of the 13 on frame. They only possess the ball 35% of the time, and they get the 2-1 win. Congratulations to the Toros.
Great work by Jerson Echeverry and the RGV FC Toros. They win it 2-1.
Love it.
5th win of the season. The Monarchs have dropped 3 straight. RGV wins it now, 5 wins on the season. Very impressive victory with 2 goals in the second half. For Bruce Silverman, I'm Ari Shannock saying so long from HEB Park.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.